think that life is about this, and it's kind of funny, I was on a call today actually with an associate of yours, Dr. Wayne, and my daughter, came in and she, she got quickly shuffled out because I was in a business meeting. And then she came back and she wanted to get me this message. And so her message was, she didn't spell it quite right, but my tooth hurts so bad. And, that's because her, she's 7 and some of her teeth are still falling out. And, it made me realize when you think about flourishing, right, you think we all have these moments of pain. And, pain, I think just a part of life. I've heard it said, and I've often said myself that, pain is mandatory, but misery is optional. And we think about the fact that sometimes we're experiencing pain not due to anything we have done, like my daughter's tooth, right? It's not like, she did that to herself. That's just a part of the process of growth. And then other times, I hope she doesn't follow my footsteps in some ways, because I've created all kinds of world of pain for myself, all by myself, no help required. And I don't know if you can identify with that, but, I think the wonderful thing about flourishing is that it's this opportunity to continue to grow and to evolve and to step into your best self, right? It's not about focusing on the pain. It's not about allowing that to derail you. Like Dr. Wayne said, it's really about how are you going to narrate your own story through this, right? Is this going to be the thing that destroys me? Is this going to be the thing that finally, has me, kind of defeated and on the sidelines? Or is there a learning opportunity through this? Is there an opportunity for growth? And, I think you also nailed it, Dr. Wayne, when you talked about the fact that it's not something that we do alone. This is not, Abe's going to pull himself up by his bootstraps and show the world how strong he is or how resilient he is or how courageous he is. That's old. You know what I mean? That's like so 1990s, that's really an old message. And I'm not for one second suggesting that we don't all have to make those personal decisions, which are monumental. But what I am saying is that we don't flourish or thrive alone, right? It's just not possible. We need safe and supportive community. And so, in our model, and I've been a coach, like Connie mentioned, for a while now, since actually 2007. You could say this is my 15-year anniversary. Before that, I was a business owner, a business executive. And then before that, I was a pastor, and for some years, also a therapist. And so one of the things I discovered is, at times when people say, well, what do you do? And I'll just say, well, I'm a coach. And then they'll almost laugh and they'll say, no, like, what do you really do? Like, obviously you're too short to be the basketball coach, Abe. You know what I mean? So I need to know, like, what do you really do? And so over the years, I've had to kind of think, well, what do I do? And what do the most effective coaches do? And I think the first thing they do, and I just sum it up in 3 simple words. I think the first is that they explore. And when we talk about exploring, what are we talking about? We're talking about exploring the bounds of somebody's limitations. We're talking about exploring the bounds or the lack of bounds, the possibilities of their potential. We're talking also in coaching about helping people to see that, right? I think a lot of us, we're so focused on our past, and we're so focused on either the things that we've done or the things that were done to us that we're not actually seeing the gold that's within us. Michelangelo said, I saw the angel in the marble, and I judged, criticized, and canceled them. He didn't actually say that. He said, I saw the angel in the marble and I carved until I set him free. Like, there is so much beauty inside of every one of us. And somehow we often need a coach to help us unlock it. But then the second thing is that unlocking. And so the second word I like to use is excavate. It's all fine to talk about flourishing and wow, what a great concept, but the work is the work, right? And there's no way around the work, right? The work of digging up the hard, digging up the dysfunction at times, digging up the limiting beliefs, and having a coach to support you in that process, because you can get lost in the mine. You can get lost in that cave, right? It's dark down there. It's sometimes dingy. And, we need help to often separate the wheat from the chaff. We need help separating the dirt from the gold. And I think that takes us to the third element of coaching, which is now execute. So help me put it all together, right? Help me now create a path from where I am to where I want to be. And I also don't think that these things happen in a linear fashion. It's not like, oh, okay, we're going to explore and that's going to last 3 months and then we're going to excavate and that's going to take us 2 months. And if we're really efficient, we'll do the executing in 1 month. I think it's actually something that's happening concurrently. It's happening simultaneously. It's happening all at the same time, because in one area of my life, I might be exploring my potential, maybe in my business, but maybe in my marriage, okay, now it's the executing, right? In other words, I need to figure this out. I need to do the work, and maybe in the area of my parenting, it's excavating some of those old programs that have hindered me in my parenting. Some of that old programming maybe we got as a result of being kids ourselves. But then in other areas, it could be all about the execution. Maybe it's a vision or a dream to write that book or to, plant that church or to start that business, whatever that person is. And so, in flourishing for us as a coaching movement, we are certified flourishing coaching, and our idea is to take the wonderful message of flourishing and fuse it together with a coaching model. We literally have 10 different types of coaching certification. Everything begins with our certified flourishing life coach training. And the idea there is let's help people to flourish in their life. And now on that foundation, then we're going to tack on the other areas that are there. And so we just want to thank you for joining us here tonight. And if you're watching on the recording, we're so grateful that you've taken just a little bit of your time to explore this with us. And I'm going to just share my screen. We always love to share. Hang on just one second. We always love to give a bit of a bonus to people, I guess you could say, for joining us and taking your time. And so one of the awesome things that we're going to be running, and it's actually happening literally next week, and there's no cost to this, is and that's those 3 points: explore, excavate, execute. But we're going to be looking next week at offering this challenge, and it's called the High Performance Leadership Challenge. And you say, well, what is that? Well, it's really just, we're going to be getting together every day online, Monday through Thursday, because in Alberta, next Friday is a statutory holiday. It's Good Friday. So we don't want to do that on that day. But Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, from 12 to 12:45, and we'll be very strict about this in terms of honoring people's time. That's 12 to 12:45 Mountain Time. We actually have 2 speakers each day, and you can see them there. There's 8 different speakers, and they're going to be talking about high performance leadership. Now, we've only given them 15 minutes each, and the idea is give us a high octane sort of rapid, development of leadership. And I can tell you, looking at that list of leaders, I mean, boy, that's, we got the best of the best, from the for-profit to the nonprofit to, an Olympic medalist, to people who have been in the trenches in the nonprofit world and working with vulnerable people, all the way up to executive directors and, business owners and entrepreneurs. And so we're going to try to tackle leadership through a whole bunch of sort of diverse lenses. And so Cynthia is going to drop, and maybe she already did, the Eventbrite link into the chat window. Please do, join us. And, you might say, well, I can't make all 4 days, or, I have a lunch meeting one day or whatever. That's not a problem. Register, because then we're going to send out those recordings and you're going to have access to all of it. And I'll tell you, these are, essentially all personal friends of mine, but they're also people who are super high performers in the area of leadership. And, I would encourage you, if you could, to check out our website. There's a free program there. It's a 5-module online course called the Flourishing Framework. And, that is a great way to do a deeper dive at no cost to understand, well, what are we really talking about? What's the evidence for this? And, if you've got the time, please do reach out to Cynthia or to Connie or to myself. We'd love to spend a little bit more time and try to understand where is your story in all of this, and where is it that you'd like to go.